Yo, what's going on? What's going on, good people? What's the deal? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We are back again with another episode of SR Daily, another wonderful episode of SR Daily. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston, and you are tuned in. What's going on? What's going on? Happy, thankful, thriving, and therapeutic Thursday. Today is the day we do the things, we do the things, we do the things, we do the food distribution, showing thanks just for the ability to have. And so we share. We thrive, right? Because we thrive in community. We thrive when we address our needs. And therapeutic, man, because today is the day we do our grief support group, our Together We Heal grief support group. This is our third year doing it every single Thursday at the community center in Queensbridge. Queensbridge, if you don't know, is the largest public housing development in America. It is where I am from, where I was raised, since 2 years old, right? Moved from the other side of Queens. But yeah, man, today's a beautiful day. I love Thursdays. Thursdays are always a great day, right? Especially as the weather gets nice, because we will be taking our food distribution from inside back to outside. We are relaunching our farm stand, right? We started the first ever sliding scale farm stand in public housing. People can pay what they can afford. And, last year we started accepting SNAP, EBT. So people in my community can get fresh fruits and vegetables with their EBT card if they have. Right. As you know, we source locally. We purchase our fruits and vegetables from local farms here in New York, sometimes Connecticut, sometimes Pennsylvania, sometimes Jersey. Right. But mainly farms here in New York, all BIPOC farms, Black, Latin, people of color, right? Super dope, right? We support some Black farms, we support some Mexican farms. So it's a dope thing. So I really love Thursdays, man. I love the grief support group, right? Coming together, man, just to talk about what's on our hearts, talk about what's on our minds. We always start with food. Well, we always start with meditation and end with food. Food is always sponsored by Urban Vegan Roots, vegan restaurant over here in Queens. They have two. Urban Vegan Roots in Queens, Urban Vegan Kitchen in Manhattan. Shout out to David Tianga, his family, and that whole team for sponsoring us every week. We know that grief is heavy. We know that we grieve in community, and we know that food is essential when we grieve, right? Food is love. Food is nourishment. Food makes you sometimes feel a hug, right? When you can't get a hug, or when the hug is not enough, sometimes food is that thing. And that's what it was for me yesterday, right? I like to be transparent. I like to be honest. Yesterday, I broke fast, right? And I was doing great. I did not overeat. I went to Echoes after my meeting, and I did not get full. Echoes is the youth organization I work with every Wednesday. I did not eat food there. I had some snacks and peanut butter pretzels and some popcorn. But when I got home, man, and I had a tough evening, and I ended up having cereal, man. Not too late, right? Not too late. It wasn't 1 a.m., but I had cereal at like 10 p.m. I had some cereal, and I finished the little piece of cake that they gave me at the restaurant for my birthday. And that's something that I don't want to be doing, right? So, I ended up going to sleep pretty early last night, but woke up, grateful, early, not in the best spirits. So I just laid there, ended up going back to sleep. But yeah, that's a little bit of my yesterday. It's a little bit of my transparency. Today is March 13th, Thursday, day before my 41st birthday. I'll be 41. Next time you guys see me tomorrow, I'll be 41 years old. Times they said I wouldn't make it here. We're gonna talk more about this tomorrow, though, man, because they said I wouldn't make it to 16. They said I wouldn't make it to 18. They said I wouldn't make it to 21. And I'm talking about they, meaning like some family members, people who are close to me, people who are supposed to uplift me, who are supposed to support me, who are supposed to keep me grounded. Because I was getting in the trouble I was getting into, and told me I wouldn't be here, right? Never really trying to lift me up, right? But is no slight to them, those family members. They didn't know no better. They don't really, just because you have children doesn't mean you know how to raise children, and even raising children is different from rearing children and nurturing children and growing children, right? They didn't know how to do that, and so they did what they thought was best, which was try to like scare me, or try to like say those things to me to make me snap into I guess sanity, or whatever the case may be. But those things never work. Those things never work. Telling somebody, man, you keep going, you ain't gonna be here when you're 16. Okay, if I already don't want to live, like, you ain't saying nothing but a word, player. All right, you got to figure out a way how to inspire. All right, that's what you got to figure out. How do you inspire a young person who is quote unquote out of control to want to live? How do you inspire them? How do you inspire them? How do you empower them? How do you tap into something inside of them? And I always think the best way is to help somebody remember their dreams, help someone realize, or help someone understand that they can realize, they can actualize their dreams, right? Their dreams can become true. Once I understood that my dreams could become true, this is after prison, right? And this is after the first year coming home that I was still messing up. When I realized I bought the video camera from the crackhead, and I was like, whoa, I could do something with this. And once I realized that, then that's when the change happened. But up until then, it's like, I don't care, because if I can't live my dreams, if I got to live and be miserable, like many people who live into old age, they live and they're miserable, right? Like there are people who live 70, 80, 90 years, 100 years even, and it's a life full of misery, a life full of pain, a life full of angst, a life full of anguish, a life full of wanting to die. That's not the life I wanted. And so many of us, we rebel, right? Because we'd rather live fast with the potential of dying young, right? Or going to prison young, live free, right? Have some years of freedom when we're really enjoying our life, when we're really enjoying our freedom, doing the things that we want to do, even if it's not the best things that we want to do, as opposed to following a freaking script and still being miserable. You still miserable. How many people do you know that follow the script that are absolutely miserable? That's not the life that we want. That's not the life. Those of us who come from the hood, those of us who chose the street life, we chose that life because the other life is miserable. We watched our parents and grandparents work hard, die poor, unhealthy, sick, never really having traveled, never really doing the things that they really want to do because, oh, I just got to work and pay the bills. Oh, I got to take. Man, F that. We live fast. That was the mentality. That was the mindset. Right, but we're gonna get to the show. We are live. I started going in again. I'm feeling a lot of emotions. It's my birthday. The full moon is coming. It will be a full moon, lunar eclipse, total eclipse tonight, going into my birthday. This is the best time to be born, man. You ask me, and I'm not just saying it because it's my birthday. Right, I'm saying being born in or around springtime, right, at or around spring, when new energy, right, like spring and winter. So like even those who are Scorpios going into Sag, right? Like these are some of the best times, right? Like, I mean, all times is great times, but like when the Pi Day tomorrow, spring next week, yo, listen, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time, man. But yo, listen, we're gonna get to the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marcy. You were tuned into episode 313. That is a palindrome. Shout out to the brother Red Razor and the Good Foundation for always reminding us of these auspicious events. All right, it's the palindrome 313 episode of here SRDaily. Remember, SRDaily is where personality meets enlightenment. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and we are going to get into the show. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, we are live on TikTok, and we are live on Instagram. Yo, Tiff, what's going on? I gotta hit you back on the you sent the email. I've been busy planning my events. I gotta hit you back about the magazine request that you made, sister. Peace and love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yo, Eddie Kruger, Copperware the Kruger, what's going on? What's going on? The Art Barn, what's going on? Vegan Thick, what's going on? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Mona Love, my baby girl. What's happening? What's happening? Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy, thankful, therapeutic, and thriving Thursday. Yes, indeed. One more day to my birthday. That is a fact. Sefusi and Kofa, peace and love. What's going on, TikTok world? Let's get right into the show with our first segment of the day. Today's first segment is I was on the wrong day. Today's first segment is a phrase of the day, and it's a very important phrase, very, very, very important phrase. We're gonna have a very deep conversation today on the show. We might go a little bit over time. Today's phrase of the day is from none other than our brother Frank Brown and his Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. It is 3 words, 3 very important words, and those words are free them all. That's the phrase of the day. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. That's the phrase of the day. And a shout out once again to the good brother Frank Brown, who is the chair of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. And this is their call. The call is to free all U.S. held political prisoners. And I 100% agree. All of our political prisoners should be free. All of them, 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 from Mumia Abu-Jamal, who may be the most popular, H. Rap Brown, and so many others. Some were freed. Some need to be freed. Joy Powell needs to be free. That is a sister in the Women's Correctional Facility, I think, Bedford Hills, upstate New York. so many political prisoners, so many people who are incarcerated simply for their political views because they do not agree with the establishment. They do not agree with the way things have been going, with the way things are going politically in this country and in this world, because there are some across the globe, right? Nelson Mandela was a political prisoner. Dr. King was a political prisoner. There's so many political prisoners that we don't even see as political prisoners, right? And this phrase, free them all, reminds me of the line from Nas' song. Shout out to Nas, my fellow Queensbridge legend. Nas' song, If I Ruled the World, when he said, I'd open every cell in Attica, send them to Africa, right? I'd open every cell in Attica, send them to Africa. Let our political prisoners go. But they won't let them go easily. So we got to fight. We got to march. We got to protest. We got to write letters. We got to call. We got to do all of the things. And this leads us to our Need to Know News of the day, our second segment. Today's second segment is a deep one. It's a heavy one, but it's a necessary one. And it's just bad, man. So Need to Know News today, we have a real world political prisoner situation happening right here in New York. It is a real world political prisoner situation happening right here in New York City. And I'm talking about Mahmoud Khalil. Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbia University graduate who is being detained because of his involvement in protests for Palestine. He has a green card, right? Graduated Columbia University, right? He is being detained, and they threatened him with deportation because of his involvement in the protests for Palestine. And when I Googled, right, because I've been seeing, right, the news, haven't been able to make it out to a protest, but I will get to a protest in the next week, right? Let me finish his birthday event, and I'm out there. Very important to be outside for these events, for these happenings, for these experiences, as we, the conscious collective, work to shift the world as hate tries to reign supreme, right? As hate tries to reign supreme and remove and restrict all of our basic human rights. Remember what Dr. King said, that injustice everywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We have to remember that. We have to remember that. And just because it's not happening to you, it's not happening to people who look like you, it can and it will, because it has happened before and it hasn't. Be thankful, but it will. So get involved, right? But let's talk about Mahmoud, man. And what I was saying was, I had to really search, because when I first Googled them, the first 4 or 5 articles from CNN, CBS, they called him anti-Israel, right? The language that they use, we have to pay attention to the propaganda of the media, right? This is why I'm super grateful I'm in media, so I can understand the narrative. When I can understand that they're trying to build a narrative, they're trying to push a narrative, anti-Israel. Why would somebody be anti? Listen, let's get into the article. I found a good article on the Independent, right? Independent. This is tough. Hundreds rally for Mahmoud Khalil outside courthouse as lawyers condemn unprecedented case against Columbia student. Trump administration's threat to deport Columbia graduate for involvement in Gaza protests draws fears of a crackdown on dissent. Alex Woodward and Richard Hall report from federal court in Manhattan. This is Wednesday, March 12th, yesterday at 7:55 p.m. A Columbia University graduate and green card holder was arrested and marked for deportation by Donald Trump's administration solely for his advocacy for Palestinian rights. Lawyers for Mahmoud Khalil said in a federal courtroom in Manhattan on Wednesday. Khalil, who is being processed for deportation in an immigration and customs enforcement detention center in Louisiana, was identified, targeted, detained, and is being processed for deportation on account of his advocacy for Palestinian rights. According to Ramzi Qasim, an attorney with the Creating Law Enforcement Accountability and Responsibility Project at CUNY School of Law. Attorneys for Khalil, a prominent organizer for pro-Palestine demonstrations on campus, made their first appearance in a case to determine the legal basis for Khalil's shocking arrest in New York, where he was pulled away from his U.S. citizen wife, who was 8 months pregnant, and sent to a detention facility in Louisiana, more than 1,300 miles away. This is freaking insane. This is freaking insane. Took him from New York. Yo, I got goosebumps, yo. And then what's so bad is that some people will say, this is why you should have voted for Kamala Harris. No, they're all terrible. And they're all in cahoots. And they are all complicit in genocide and terrorism. Every single one of them. We should have abandoned the whole election, voted for a whole third party or nobody at all, and stood. That's what we should have did. Ah! People are so afraid, man. People are so freaking afraid. Like, if you know me, like I'm extremely passionate. We're gonna get back though. More than 1,300 miles away. On Monday, District Judge Jesse Furman temporarily halted his removal from the United States and is barring the government from deporting him. But Khalil will remain in Louisiana for now. This has got to be one of the scariest, most terrifying, most frustrating and infuriating things to experience as a person. I cannot imagine. The attempt to deport a legal permanent resident for their political views has drawn international scrutiny and raised fears of a crackdown on free speech by the Trump administration. His detention has severely limited his attorney's access to him, Qasim told the judge. Khalil's lawyers were able to schedule one attorney-client privilege call on March 20th, more than 2 weeks after his arrest. We have not been able to confer with our client once, Qasim said. Government lawyers said that was the first we're hearing of client access issues and will, quote-unquote, look into it. But Khalil, quote-unquote, has been processed for deportation and will be, quote-unquote, placed in removal proceedings in the Louisiana court, according to Assistant U.S. Attorney Brandon Waterman. Man, I can't even say what should happen. The judge ordered Khalil access to two privileged calls, one on Wednesday and another on Thursday. Khalil was first detained in a New Jersey facility in the early morning hours on Sunday before he was moved to Louisiana that night. His arrest has been widely condemned by Democratic officials and civil rights groups, questioning how a legal permanent resident could be deported without facing any criminal charges and without any evidence from the government of the allegations against him or any other demonstrators. Administration officials have argued that Khalil doesn't need to be charged, let alone convicted of a crime, to be removed from the country, alleging without evidence he was, quote-unquote, aligned with Hamas, thus providing material support to a terrorist organization. This is freaking insane, yo. This is freaking insane, man. His attorneys plan to submit a new filing this week to, quote-unquote, flesh out grave constitutional violations and expand on their arguments after the Trump administration's statements, Qasim said. The timeline of his arrest and detention and when attorneys intervened could ultimately determine where Khalil's case can be heard. He was detained in New Jersey shortly after 3 a.m. on Sunday. A petition for his removal was filed after 4 a.m. later that night. Later that night, he was moved to Louisiana. But the judge appears somewhat skeptical that Khalil should remain in Louisiana as his attorneys fight for his return to New York. Judge Freeman suggested there could be an exception if there was bad faith in an attempt to intentionally deprive a court of having jurisdiction, or if the government's, quote-unquote, constant movement of a person in custody intended to prevent them from even knowing where to file their case, pointing to concurrence written by former Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy more than 20 years ago. Yes, this is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to move him around. They play this freaking game, and I swear to God, I want to cuss so bad, but TikTok gonna ban me, and it doesn't make sense. Like, let's keep reading. Finish this article up. This is insane, yo. Outside the court, hundreds of people joined the rally demanding Khalil's release. David Malouf, a 68-year-old lawyer and Columbia graduate from 1988 who wore a red Make America Again hat to Wednesday's rally, said he was concerned about the implications for free speech. If we don't stand up now, citizens are next, he said. I mean, how close is that line for somebody like Trump? This thing may go all the way to the Supreme Court, and hopefully they'll reach the right decision, which is you need more than just the word of a politician like Secretary of State Rubio to remove somebody, to take away their liberty. Miriam Osman, an organizer with the Palestinian Youth Movement, said she was enraged by what she described as the illegal detention of Khalil. No matter what your political opinions are in this country, you have a right constitutionally to be able to express them, and that is exactly what Mahmoud Khalil was doing. For the Trump administration to come and say you, as a green card holder, can just pick up from your home one night with no due process, this should be completely appalling to every single American. Absolutely it should. From the steps of the Thurgood Marshall Courthouse, actress and activist Susan Sarandon told reporters that freedom of speech is a right we all have, and this is a turning point in history. Qasim called the government's grounds for revoking Khalil's green card absolutely unprecedented, he told reporters after Wednesday's hearing. It cannot be the case that you can be disappeared at night off the streets of New York City simply because the current administration and the White House dislike what you have to say. Essentially, they are a form of punishment and retaliation for the exercise of free speech, he added. We think it won't fly in the federal court. We think it won't fly in immigration court, and it certainly should not fly in a court of public opinion. Bahir Azmi, legal director of the Center of Constitutional Rights and a member of Khalil's legal team, compared his arrest to McCarthyism in the Red Scare, a grim period in the 20th century American history when the U.S. government suppressed and persecuted its own citizens for their political beliefs. Mr. Khalil's detention has nothing to do with security. It is only about repression. Joseph Howley, associate professor of classics at Columbia University, invoked Martin Niemöller's quote about the rise of Nazism in 1930s Germany as he drew comparisons to the current landscape for civil rights in America. Where exactly are we in the poem that begins, when they came for the communists, I did not speak out? Well, they've already come for the asylum seekers, he said. They've come for the migrant families. Now they've come for Mahmoud Khalil. It's not a very long poem. So how far down the list do you think you are? Yo, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is absolutely insane. I am absolutely enraged. Mona, be great and make it a great one. My love, my brother said, food tuning in from the 5 train, heading to Mama's place. Honor thy elders. Awesome, brother. Awesome, brother. Insane. We need to organize. We need to be in the streets, as many as possible. Get involved. And with that, we're going to move right along to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment, the tip of the day. We're going to switch energies. As I mentioned, there's a beautiful full moon, total lunar eclipse happening tonight. Going into tomorrow, my birthday. It's called the Blood Worm Moon. Super excited. Once again, it is an auspicious time, a very sacred time for you to manifest. We're going to get more into that, though, in the next segment. But here are a few tips to help you take advantage of the time. 1, connect with nature, man. Go outside. Go for a walk. Sit in the park. Bask in the moonlight and appreciate the beauty of the night sky. Tonight, sunset, some point, go outside, man. Go outside. Sit in the park. Sit on the bench. It may be a little chilly, right? But, like, go enjoy some of this night air. Right, find a spot with a good view of the moon. Consider a rooftop, a bridge, or a park with open space. I'm gonna go to Astoria Park later. I'm gonna spend some time there tonight, man, and just be with the energy, man, as my birthday approaches, 41 years, right? Reflect and release. Journaling. I'm definitely gonna write some stuff tonight. Journaling. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and intentions for the coming month. Meditation. Take some time to sit quietly and reflect on your life and goals. Release negativity. Use the full moon's energy to let go of anything that no longer serves you. Celebrate and enjoy. If you can, have a bonfire, right? Like have a fire if you can. If you have a safe space to do so, a bonfire could be a great way to celebrate the full moon. Dance or sing. If you love dancing, if you love singing like me, although like I'm not a professional, dance and sing around your crib, right? Dance in your room, sing to yourself, sing to your lover, sing to the moon. Right, I will be sharing my poem, Moonchild. I will read my poem. I wrote a poem in my book to my daughter called Moonchild. It's one of my favorite poems in that book that you should definitely purchase. You should definitely purchase a copy of the book. Treat yourself, indulge in a special activity or treat that you enjoy. I'm definitely going to enjoy some stuff tonight. We're going to enjoy some stuff tonight, baby. And there's a few other rituals, right? You can make moon water, infuse water with the moonlight for a cleansing and rejuvenating ritual. You can charge your crystals. If you have crystals and you're into that, charge your crystals, place your crystals under the moonlight to amplify their energy. You can take a moon bath, right? Spend time in the bath or shower under the moonlight, allowing the water to cleanse and rejuvenate you. And cleanse your space, man. Clean up, like burn some sage, light some Palo Santo, light some incense to cleanse the energy around you. I'm also going to do that, right? I'm going to get in, I'm going to clean up because I got a massage in the morning. I got a home massage tomorrow. My massage therapist is coming at 11 a.m. tomorrow. I got a haircut appointment at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So I got to clean tonight because I still got my show to do tomorrow. I got to wake up and work out. All right, so I'm going to clean up tonight when I get in. After I clean, we're going to walk to the park, right? We're going to sit under the moon. We're going to enjoy some stuff that I like to enjoy under the moonlight, all right? And that's what's going to happen tonight, man. But it's a very, very, very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. And we move right along to our fourth and final segment of the day. Today's fourth segment where we talk a little bit more. Sefu says, celebrate life and song. Absolutely. Fourth and final segment, our build of the day. Today's build, once again, is on tonight's Blood Worm Moon. Total lunar eclipse is a time of change and purification. offering energies for releasing old patterns, embracing new beginnings, and fostering introspection, especially in the context of relationships and personal growth. It is always about personal growth in relationships. Always, always, always. Right? So here's a breakdown of the energies available to you, similar to the tips, but the energies available. Release and letting go, right? The full moon, especially during an eclipse, is a powerful time to release what no longer serves you, whether it's physical clutter, negative emotions, or limiting beliefs. Purification and clarity. The Virgo sign, right? Full moon in Virgo. The Virgo sign, where this full moon occurs, encourages purification and clarity, suggesting a time to declutter both your physical and energetic space. New beginnings. The earth sign energy of Virgo, combined with the full moon's transformative power, creates an ideal space for initiating positive changes and embracing new possibilities. Introspection and self-reflection. The bloodworm moon can be a powerful time for introspection and connecting with your inner self, potentially leading to deeper insights and understanding. And it's no coincidence that it's my birthday and I'm doing a business shower, business launch, right? These are no coincidences, man. Like, you just got to be tapped in and know when to do something. And I wish I would have did it before, but now is the best time to do it. You see? Relationship focus. The lunar eclipse can bring to light areas in your relationships that need attention or healing, encouraging you to examine your patterns and communication styles. Spiritual growth. This is a time when you can connect with your spiritual side, perhaps through prayer, meditation, or spending time in nature, as I mentioned. Grounding and stability. The intense energy of the blood moon can stir up emotions, so grounding practices like spending time outdoors or using crystals can help you stay centered. Amplifying intentions. This is a big one, guys. The blood moon's energy can amplify your intentions, making it a good time to set goals and visualize desired outcomes. I have some very desired outcomes. I have a very specific plan to start my 5-year planner that I bought last year that I barely used. From tomorrow on, 365 days, every single day, to write in my planner, work out, meditate, read, write, create. Very simple. I got physical goals, right, for my body. I got financial goals for my pockets, right? I got emotional goals. I got relationship goals, right? I intend to get married again, right? Bunch of goals. So we setting intentions tonight, and those intentions will be amplified, right? And then emotional healing. The blood moon may bring up strong emotions, right? Like it was a strong night last night, heavy night. I went to sleep early. I had cereal and cake before sleep. Not good. I woke up this morning feeling heavier than I need to, heavier than I would like to, right? So it's emotional, man. It's emotional, right? But the blood moon may bring up strong emotions. So it's important to be mindful of your feelings and seek support if you need it. Again, this is an extremely, extremely, extremely auspicious time. And we're going to talk about auspicious tomorrow. All right. But take advantage of this time, man. Take advantage of this time. It doesn't happen often. It's the first total lunar eclipse in 3 years, right? First time it's happening. Like, it's just a beautiful time, man. You could do all of the research. You could do all of the study. Right, but I encourage you guys to like tap in, to get in, right, to not be afraid, right. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful moon. I look forward to seeing it, man. Like, go outside, you can see it with your bare eyes. You don't need special equipment. Obviously, having a telescope, having some special equipment will make it more visible, will make it better, right. But you can see this thing with your own eyes tonight, and so like go outside, stay up late and go outside. Right, watch the sunset first. Right, watch the sunset. It's 6, 7 something. I won't be able to see the sunset. I'll be in my grief group. Right, but I'll see if the people in the grief group want to go outside real quick and see the sunset. All right. But yeah, see the sunset, man. See the sunset. Be outside. Like, and then go outside later again. Go outside again later when the whole thing is covered. Right, when they're in a line, the earth, the moon, and the sun will be in one line. All right, that's gonna be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful time. And so, yeah, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it, right? A total lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, earth, and moon align in roughly a straight line with earth in the middle. This is also known as a zigzag. The eclipse reaches totality as the full moon moves into the darkest part of the Earth's shadows, called the umbra. Right? It says people on the West Coast can see the total lunar eclipse beginning at 11:26 Thursday, or those on the East Coast will see it at 11:26. Right? So a.m. So I mean at 2:26. Sorry, 11:26 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 hours ahead on the East Coast. So 2:26 a.m. Friday morning. It's gonna last about 65 minutes. So I might fall asleep, but I'm gonna set my alarm for 2 o'clock so I can get up and go outside right in front of my house and see it as much as possible. Right? But listen, y'all, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 313 of SR Daily. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston. If you are in New York City, come to my events tomorrow. It's going down tomorrow. My birthday, Friday, March 14th, 6 to 9 p.m. is my talk. Let me talk my shit. I'm going to talk some shit, right? We're going to have some food, have some cake. It's going to be a great time, have some great music. And then Saturday afternoon is my business launch and shower, 12 to 3 p.m. Both events are in Long Island City. If you are coming, get your ticket. If you are not coming, but you want to donate, you can contribute a ticket. You can purchase a ticket on my website and give it to somebody. You can make a donation to my Cash App, right? You can purchase something from my business wish list, right? Bunch of ways. Yo, David Sincere, what's going on, my brother? Thank you for tuning in. My brother. All right, there's a bunch of ways you could be involved. Yo, David, what you doing tomorrow night, man? Come to my event, my brother. I'm going to hit you up. But listen, guys. See you tomorrow on my birthday. It's going to be a great episode tomorrow, right? Remember, SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment, and all I try to do is share my personality and enlighten some guys. We going up, right? We going up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm your boy, your host, Sean Sugar Ray Marston, episode 313 of SR Daily. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up! The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.